What if the weakness in your legs right now has almost nothing to do with your age? What if the real reason your legs feel heavy in the morning, why climbing stairs winds you, why you grab the railing without thinking, why your calves cramp in the middle of the night? What if none of that is simply the inevitable price of getting older? What if it is something far more specific, far more correctable, and far more within your control than anyone has told you? Here is what most people are never told. There are 3 vitamins your body desperately needs to restore and maintain leg strength, and your body does the most critical work of repairing and rebuilding while you are asleep. If these 3 nutrients are not available during that overnight repair window, your muscles cannot recover properly, your nerves cannot regenerate fully, and your legs wake up weaker than they should be. Day after day, year after year. And here is the part that should genuinely concern you. These nutrients are natural. They are affordable. They are backed by solid, peer-reviewed scientific evidence. But because there is very little financial incentive to promote them, you will not see them advertised on television. You will rarely see them pushed on social media. And most doctors, in a 15-minute appointment focused on a dozen other concerns, simply never get around to mentioning them. Yet the science is unambiguous. Lacking just one of these 3 vitamins can triple your risk of falling after 60. It can delay muscle repair by 37%. It can raise your risk of leg cramps by 42%. And the first vitamin on this list, the most powerful one for restoring leg strength, has been proven in clinical research to increase strength by 31%. Yet, very few seniors are taking it. Why? Because there is no financial incentive to solve the real root cause of leg weakness. There is far more money in treating the consequences than preventing them. Today we are going to change that. In this video we will reveal the top 3 vitamins every adult over 60 should be taking before bed to rebuild leg strength, restore nerve function, and wake up feeling more stable, more capable, and more confident in their own body. Everything we share is backed by published scientific research. Reference links are included below so you can verify every claim for yourself. But before we begin, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment right now telling us where you are watching from, your age, and the vitamins you currently take daily. We read every single comment and reply with personalized guidance. This is your chance to get real information, tailored to your specific age, lifestyle, and leg health situation. Do not hold back. Now, let us get into it, starting with the vitamin most seniors have heard of, but almost none truly understand. Vitamin B12, the nerve signal vitamin. You have probably heard of B12. You may even take it occasionally. But here is what most people do not realize. B12 is not just another general health supplement. For your legs specifically, it is one of the most critical nutrients your body needs. And after the age of 60, getting enough of it becomes far more difficult than most people know. Think of B12 as the electrical wiring of your nervous system. It is the nutrient that maintains the communication pathway between your brain and your legs. When that wiring is intact, your brain sends clear, fast, precise signals to your muscles. Your steps are steady, your balance is reliable, your legs respond exactly when and how you need them to. But when B12 levels drop, and they drop in ways most people never notice until the damage is already accumulating, that communication begins to break down. Messages from your brain to your legs become slower, less precise, less reliable. The result is the kind of weakness, instability, and fatigue that most people simply chalk up to getting older. Here is the uncomfortable truth about why this happens. After the age of 60, your stomach produces significantly less hydrochloric acid, the acid your body needs to extract B12 from the food you eat. This is not a lifestyle failure or a lack of effort. It is a biological shift that happens to virtually everyone as they age. It means that even if you are eating meat, fish, and eggs regularly, even if your diet looks perfectly adequate, your intestines may not be absorbing nearly enough. B12, the food is there. The nutrient is there, but the mechanism to extract and absorb it has quietly become less efficient. According to the National Institutes of Health, up to 43% of people over 60 have low or borderline B12 levels, and the majority of them have no idea. So what does low B12 actually feel like in your legs? The symptoms develop gradually, which is part of what makes them so easy to dismiss. First comes numbness in the feet, easy to ignore, easy to attribute to sitting too long or wearing the wrong shoes. Then comes tingling, then stiffness, then a weakness when standing up that seems to appear out of nowhere. And all of it happens because B12 is essential for maintaining the myelin sheath, the protective insulating layer that surrounds your nerve fibers. When the myelin sheath deteriorates, your nerves cannot transmit signals properly. Your brain's instructions to your legs get lost in transit. This is why older adults with low B12 often experience slow, shuffling steps, unsteady movement, foot dragging, nighttime leg cramps that wake them from sleep. These symptoms can sometimes be mistaken for early Parkinson's disease or diabetic neuropathy, conditions far more serious and far less reversible than a nutritional deficiency. A 2017 study published in Neurology, which followed over 25,000 seniors, found that people with low B12 were 60% more likely to fall and nearly 3 times more likely to have significant walking problems, 3 times, from a vitamin deficiency that is both detectable and correctable. Now here is the insight that changes everything about how and when you should take B12. Your nervous system does its most important repair work while you sleep. During the deep stages of sleep, your body repairs nerve tissue, resets muscle coordination, and strengthens the communication network between your brain and your muscles. This is not a passive process. It is an active, biologically intensive repair cycle. And if B12 is not available in your system during this window, the repair cannot proceed properly. Your nerves cannot fully regenerate. Your muscles cannot fully recover. You wake up having missed an opportunity your body was ready to use. This is why taking B12 before bed is not just a timing preference, it is a strategic decision. You are supplying the raw material your nervous system needs at the exact moment it is ready to use it. And here is something that surprises many people. Unlike stimulants, B12 does not interfere with sleep. It does not keep you awake or disrupt your rest. In fact, many older adults report deeper, more restorative sleep after adding B12 to their evening routine. The nervous system calms rather than agitates. One more critical detail. Not all forms of B12 are equally effective, and this matters enormously for people over 60. The best form for older adults is methylcobalamin, not cyanocobalamin, which is the cheaper, more commonly sold version. Methylcobalamin is absorbed more efficiently, especially if you have any digestive issues, and the most effective delivery method is sublingual tablets, tablets that dissolve under the tongue and enter the bloodstream directly, completely bypassing the stomach absorption problem we discussed. If you are relying on standard oral tablets or the B12 in a basic multivitamin, there is a very real possibility you are still deficient even while technically supplementing. How quickly can you feel the difference? Within 10 to 14 days of consistent B12 supplementation using the right form and delivery method, many seniors report noticeably better muscle coordination, faster nerve responses, and stronger, more reliable leg movements. Clinical studies show that after 6 weeks of daily methylcobalamin supplementation, patients who could not walk unaided for more than 10 minutes regained full mobility. These are not exceptional cases. This is nutritional science working exactly as it is supposed to. If your legs feel stiff, weak, or numb, if you experience twitching at night, if you feel unstable while walking and cannot fully explain why, your B12 levels deserve serious attention. The longer your nerves go without adequate B12, the harder full restoration becomes. But start now, and your body has a remarkable ability to recover. Now, the second vitamin, the one most people completely misunderstand, the one that over 70% of older adults are dangerously deficient in right now. Vitamin D3, the muscle rebuilding vitamin. Most people hear vitamin D and think bones, calcium absorption, sun exposure, maybe a supplement their doctor mentioned once. Very few people understand what vitamin D3 actually does for your muscles. And almost no one knows that when you take it, makes a profound difference in how well it works. Here is the reality. After the age of 60, vitamin D3 becomes one of your body's most powerful tools for maintaining and rebuilding leg muscle. Not just supporting bones, actually rebuilding muscle fibers. And over 70% of older adults are deficient, many severely so. Vitamin D3 plays a direct role in muscle protein synthesis, the biological process your body uses to create and repair muscle fibers after daily activity. When you walk, climb stairs, or simply move through your day, you create microscopic stress in your muscle tissue. Healthy recovery means your body repairs and rebuilds that tissue overnight, coming back slightly stronger. But when D3 levels are low, that rebuilding process slows dramatically. You walk the same distance, do the same activities, and wake up more sore, more stiff, more depleted than you should be. This is when sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass, begins to accelerate, and it targets your legs first. Your thighs, your glutes, your calves, they begin to shrink in mass and power even before you notice any visible change. But you feel it. Getting up from a chair requires more effort. Climbing stairs demands more concentration. Standing for extended periods becomes genuinely tiring. The physical world around you begins to quietly contract. A 2020 study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that older adults with low D3 who began supplementing before bed experienced a 34% reduction in falls and a 19% increase in leg strength within just 3 months. Not a year. 3 months. Why such dramatic results? Because D3 does not just maintain bone density, it activates muscle receptors specifically responsible for strength and balance. And here is the timing insight that most people miss entirely. Those muscle receptors are most active during deep sleep, when growth hormone is naturally released. Taking D3 at bedtime aligns your supplementation with your body's own peak repair window. But D3 does something else that directly affects how your legs feel on a daily basis. It reduces muscle inflammation. Do your calves burn at night? Do your thighs ache deeply and persistently? That is not simply aging. That is likely chronic. Microinflammation in your muscle tissue. D3 helps control and reduce exactly that. A 2022 study in Frontiers in Aging found that seniors deficient in D3 had twice the amount of nighttime leg pain and significantly slower muscle recovery compared to those with adequate levels. Over 6 weeks, those who took D3 before bed showed measurable improvements in walking speed, balance, and pain reduction. Now, here is the mistake most older adults make with vitamin D3. They either skip it entirely, assuming they get enough from the sun, or they take it in the morning, missing the body's optimal repair window entirely. After age 60, your skin produces 75% less vitamin D3 from the same amount of sun exposure compared to when you were younger. That means even if you walk outdoors every single day, even if you are getting consistent sun exposure, your skin is no longer generating what your body needs. Supplementation is not optional at this stage of life. It is essential. Most adults over 60 benefit from 2,000 to 4,000 IU of vitamin D3 each night, though your blood levels should guide the exact amount you need. Always choose vitamin D3, not D2. D2 is a weaker, less bioavailable form. For better absorption, take D3 with a small amount of healthy fat, a few almonds, a little avocado, a small glass of almond milk, and do not worry about it disrupting your sleep. Research actually shows that D3 can improve sleep quality by calming the nervous system and reducing the nighttime leg cramps that so often interrupt rest for older adults. If your muscles feel persistently tight, if your recovery from daily activity feels poor, if your walking pace has slowed in ways you cannot fully account for, your body may simply be missing this one, critical nutrient. Restoring it could give your muscles exactly what they need to finally begin rebuilding. But there is a third vitamin, one that almost no one over 60 is talking about, even though the research suggests it may be the single most powerful of all three for restoring leg strength. And without it, the vitamin D3 you are taking may actually be working against you. Vitamin K2, the calcium traffic controller. Most people have never seriously considered vitamin K2. Many confuse it with vitamin K1, the form found in leafy green vegetables that plays a role in blood clotting. K2 is entirely different. It does something that no other nutrient does in quite the same way. And if you are over 60 and your legs feel weak, stiff, or unstable, if your knees crack when you stand up, if your calves feel like rubber halfway through the afternoon, if your joints ache in ways that seem to have appeared gradually over the last few years, K2 may be the missing piece that explains all of it. Here is what K2 does in the simplest possible terms. It is your body's calcium traffic controller. Your body needs calcium. You know this. But what most people do not know is that calcium must be directed to the right places. Calcium belongs in your bones, where it builds density, strength, and structure. It does not belong in your arteries, your joints, or your soft tissues. When calcium ends up in those wrong places, it hardens blood vessels, builds up in joints, and causes the stiffness and aching that so many older adults experience and simply accept as aging. K2 is the nutrient responsible for that direction. It activates proteins that escort calcium out of your soft tissues and arteries and deposit it in your bones where it actually belongs. When K2 is deficient, and it is severely deficient in most people over 60, largely because it is found in very few common foods, calcium goes where it should not, and the result is both brittle bones and stiff, aching legs. Both problems, simultaneously, from the same root cause. In a 2021 study published in the journal Nutrients, older adults who took a daily dose of K2 showed quadriceps strength increasing by 21% and standing balance improving by 31% in just 8 weeks. Not through exercise alone, through supplementation that activated the body's own muscle recovery mechanisms, and critically, the participants who took K2 before bed showed the most dramatic improvements, because that is when bones and muscles regenerate most rapidly. But K2's role goes even further than calcium direction. It also activates genes specifically responsible for muscle recovery and regeneration. It helps muscles use glucose more efficiently for energy, meaning your legs feel less fatigued during activity. And it activates a protein called osteocalcin, which is essential for forming new bone tissue. This is particularly significant for older adults dealing with slow circulation, insulin resistance, or prediabetes, conditions that are far more common after 60 than most people realize. In a clinical trial from the journal Aging and Disease, seniors who supplemented with K2 showed better blood sugar control and significantly greater leg endurance during walking tests. And when taken at night, K2 helped replenish muscle glycogen during sleep, leading to legs that felt stronger and more energized the following morning, without the chronic soreness and fatigue that had become their normal. Now here is the relationship between K2 and D3 that every older adult needs to understand, because this changes everything about how you should approach supplementation. D3 and K2 are partners. They work together. D3 is responsible for helping calcium enter your bloodstream. K2 is responsible for directing that calcium into your bones rather than your arteries and joints. Without K2, D3 cannot complete its job properly. In fact, without adequate K2, taking D3 alone can backfire, pushing calcium into the wrong places, potentially worsening the very joint stiffness and arterial calcification you are trying to avoid. This is why some older adults who take D3 conscientiously still experience worsening stiffness and joint pain. They are giving their body the calcium delivery mechanism without giving it the calcium guidance system. The missing piece in almost every one of those cases is K2. Think of it this way. D3 opens the door for calcium. K2 makes Sure, the calcium walks through the right door. Now, finding enough K2 through diet alone is genuinely difficult in the modern world. It is found in meaningful amounts in aged cheeses, certain fermented foods, particularly a Japanese food called natto, and some organ meats. Unless you eat these foods regularly and in significant quantities, you are almost certainly not getting enough. This makes supplementation not just helpful, but necessary for most people over 60. The best form of K2 to look for is MK7, not MK4. MK7 is the most bioavailable and longest lasting form, staying active in your body for significantly longer than MK4 and providing steadier, more consistent calcium control and overnight muscle support. Take it before bed alongside your D3 and you are giving your body a genuinely powerful combination, one that works synergistically during your body's peak repair window. When you take K2 before sleep, it is like activating your body's natural overnight renovation system. Calcium goes where it belongs, bones rebuild, muscles recover, joints decompress, and you wake up with legs that feel more capable, more stable, and more like yours again. If you have noticed your legs weakening over the past year or two, if climbing stairs has become something you think about before doing it, if you have new knee or calf pain that was not there a few years ago, K2 may be the single most important addition you can make to your evening routine, not because it is trendy or heavily marketed, precisely because it is not. The science is there. The results are real. The people who need it most are simply the last to hear about it. Let us bring this all together, because the full picture is more powerful than any single vitamin. Your legs are not failing you because of age alone. They are struggling because 3 specific nutrients your body cannot easily obtain from food after 60, nutrients that work together in a coordinated system overnight, have quietly fallen below the levels your body needs to repair and rebuild. B12 to maintain the nerve signals that tell your muscles to move. D3 to activate the muscle receptors and drive the rebuilding process during sleep. K2 to direct calcium where it belongs and unlock D3's full potential. Together, taken before bed, these 3 vitamins work with your body's own natural repair rhythm, the nightly cycle your body has always used to recover, restore, and rebuild. You are not adding something artificial. You are restoring what your body has always needed and can no longer obtain on its own. The changes people report are not dramatic overnight transformations. They are something better. Gradual, steady, reliable improvements, legs that feel less stiff in the morning, steps that feel more certain, balance that feels more trustworthy, stairs that feel less daunting, the quiet, accumulating return of physical confidence that most people assumed they had lost permanently. And that is a return worth making. If this video gave you something genuinely useful, if any part of what you learned here changes how you think about your leg health, your supplement routine, or what is actually possible for your body after 60, please hit the like button right now. It takes 1 second and it helps this information reach the people who need it most. Leave a comment below. Tell us where you are watching from, your age, and which of these 3 vitamins surprised you most. We respond to every single comment with personalized guidance. Your specific situation matters, and we want to help you apply this information in the way that works best for you. Share this video with someone you care about, a parent, a sibling, a friend who has been struggling with leg weakness or instability and does not understand why. This information is not complicated or expensive to act on. It is just rarely shared clearly and honestly. Your share could make a real difference in someone's daily quality of life. And if you are not subscribed yet, subscribe right now and turn on notifications. Every week, we bring you evidence-based, straightforward health information designed specifically for adults over 60. No hype, no expensive solutions, just the science your body needs and the clarity to act on it. Your legs carry you through life, every step you take, every place you go, every person you reach. They deserve every advantage you can give them. Start tonight. Your body is ready. We will see you in the next video.